Mama and Dad are gonna love this. Pingle's Home Store has appliances now. Refrigerators, washers, dryers, everything for our house. And Pingle's still has the best stuff for kitchens, bathrooms, living rooms, and bedrooms too. New appliances and the same great service. Awesome!
Now at Pingle's Home Store, top brand appliances, refrigerators, washers, dryers, and more. Pingle's Home Store is now your appliance headquarters too.
Welcome back to the Scooters Coffee Radio postgame show on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel. Tyler Crabb and Aaron Stoltz here with you for post-game coverage. So, yeah, sorry, we had something that was being discussed over here to the left side here, but Pella Christian trail falls to Dallas Center Grimes 88-41. Looking at this matchup, looking at tonight's final stats while things continued to go on over there. We'll first look at Dallas Center Grimes. So Macy Meyer, she had 22 points. Ava Smid had 11. Leah Brauk had 9. Tessa Jones, she had 26. Addie Abens finished with 2. Anaya Bowens finished with 2. Paisley Haida Gherkin had 5. Taya Jones had 3. Denali Amos with 2. Tinley Haida Gherkin with 5. And Hayden Smith missing a 3-pointer. Pella Christian scoring Rachel Kagmerinsky 11. Addie Van Aradonk with 8. Finley Snyder had 9. She's the second leading scorer tonight. And then 3 points apiece for Sophia Slaughter, Ashlyn Vermeer, and Elena Herdigan. And then 2 points apiece for Ava Breams and Olivia DeHaan. Those are tonight's final stats presented by the Verdeft Agency. Let Chad, Lance, or Larry examine your stats. Customize an insurance plan for you. The Verdeft Agency, providing complete courteous service to the Pella area for nearly 100 years. Our McKay Group Radio key player of the game here on the Scooters Coffee Radio postgame show, where Scooters Coffee and Pella, they have amazing people, amazing drinks, and are amazingly fast. Aaron, I would just say the key play was just Dallas Center Grimes pressure. Second quarter really ramped it up. Really threw Pella Christian out of whack, it felt like, on the offensive end of the floor. And then our player of the game, Finley Snyder, 9 points. Felt like she stepped up. I mean, obviously, second half was a struggle for the Eagles. You're behind on the scoreboard, but Finley came in, did some nice things, and finished with a solid 9-point effort for the Eagles. Oh.
Yeah, she did. Nice game off the bench. And, again, we talked about it. Like, you just got to build confidence, you know, and to have a game like that off the bench, you're going to need extra bodies as the season goes on. And if you know, some of these younger girls can step up and contribute in a positive way because of nights like tonight where you have a little success against a team like Dallas Center Grimes, and that's just going to do wonders for you moving forward.
Absolutely it is. It's our McKay Group Radio key play and player of the game. Auto, home, business, commercial, life, and health insurance covering you in Knoxville and Oskaloosa. Before we go in, closing presented by Lighton State Bank. Do have to get to a Pingle's Home Store Instant Radio update. Norwalk found their way in the fourth quarter of the girls' game against Newton, pulled away for a 66-42 win. So a strong finish to the game there for the Warriors, finishing on a 17-5 closing run to win comfortably over the Cardinals on the road. But we go in closing for the girls' game presented by Lighton State Bank. Grow strong with us. As you mentioned, Aaron, I think the final thoughts kind of coincide with what you just said. Some positive things to build on, some things that obviously you'll need to work on the next couple days in practice as you get ready for Indianola on Friday night. But overall, you knew coming in it was going to be tough with the depleted backcourt and everything like that, and you showed some solid fight, I feel like, tonight.
Yeah, even with a full roster, that's going to be a tough matchup for the Eagles. So, again, if just getting some of those players more comfortable in some new roles, you know, to fill in till maybe a player or two is able to return, you know, is just going to be beneficial. So I think tonight went a little ways in doing that, and knowing you can do some have a little bit of success at times against a team like Dallas Center Grimes when you're playing against teams in the 3A fields and stuff like that. It's just going to be beneficial.
That it is, and we do have a final score from across town. Indianola able to pull away from Pella, or to finish off the win over Pella, 42-30.
Okay.
Final score across town tonight. And Indianola, they'll get to drive home for a couple days, and then they're going to come right back to Pella to take on the Eagles here on Eagle Lane. That's In Closing, presented by Light State Bank. Grow strong with us. You've been listening to the Scooters Coffee Radio postgame show on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel. We'll take a timeout, and we'll switch it over to a pregame of the boys contest after this.
What do great painting results look like? At Spain Painting, it's a flawless finish that stands the test of time. Hi, I'm Levi Spain, and our team delivers bold, clean, professional results inside and out. Crisp lines, smooth walls, colors that elevate your space and hold up for years. Whether it's a home makeover or a fresh look for your business, we're focused on results that you'll love every time you walk through the door. Spain Painting in Pella. Experience, quality, results.
When you eat at Culver's, you're enjoying fresh food, not just fast food. I'm Tim Grotenhuis, owner of Culver's Restaurant in Pella, and we pride ourselves on making your order fresh every time. Our never frozen burgers are made fresh just the way you want it. Our chicken sandwiches and chicken strips are made fresh. We don't make them ahead of time and let them sit under a warmer. And we slow turn our frozen custard in small batches all day so it's at its very best. What can we make fresh for you today at Culver's Restaurant in Pella?
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious. That's you stepping up to the plate. That's you winning your kickball game.
Yes, let's go!
That's you taking another sip of your Do the Do.
When you're cooking or doing meal prep in your kitchen, do you find that there are shadows or dark spots on the counter that make it hard to read recipes or even see exactly what you're doing? At Centerpoint Electric, we're here to help with any electrical problem you have, big or small. Let us install LED under cabinet lighting that will give you direct illumination where it's needed so you can cook with ease. Plus, it's more efficient and it looks cool too. Check us out online at centerpoint-electric.com. We're wired for excellence.
Welcome back here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel. It is pregame coverage of the Pella Christian Boys Contest against Dallas Center Grimes here. We started off with our game time temperature presented by Van Haften Plumbing and Heating in Pella. And this will be your game time temperature, 44 degrees. We know it's been unseasonably warm here as of late, but we know that inevitably Iowa's not that friendly that it's going to stay that way the entire year. So when it is time for the heat to turn back on because it's gotten extremely cold again, make sure that you call on the heating and cooling experts at Van Haften Plumbing and Heating in Pella, where you're going to rest easy when you pick up that phone and hear
Van Haften.
And we look at our McKay Group radio keys to the game, Aaron. And, for the Eagles, one, I think the big key is how rested did you get last night? I mean, last night was a thrilling win over Knoxville, but the rotation's already been shortened to 6. It got shortened even shorter for the final, 5.5 minutes of the game with Garrett Wheeler rolling an ankle. But, a high emotion win. So how much rest did you get? And then I think that the big thing here is got to buy some buckets from the outside because, the Eagles have made their living in the paint. And tonight I don't think you're just going to be able to live inside with the size of Dallas Center Grimes. So you're going to have to knock down some perimeter shots, and who's going to step up and do that?
Yeah, I think both of those are pretty valid points. We're going to see a little bit of size on the interior that we have not seen yet to this point. So, closing down that lane is going to be big, when you're trying to score. And then, for me, it is a lot about that first point you brought up, Tyler. You're coming off an emotional win last night. Guys were spent at the end of the game. You could see it. it was hard fought between both teams, and they left it all out there. And they are young, much younger than myself or you. But the reality is it took its toll on you, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how they do respond given the short rotations that we had. I wouldn't be surprised if one or two bodies kind of get sprinkled in there tonight along the way just to buy some minutes. And again, similar to the girls, it's a good opportunity to get some of that experience against a good quality team that, maybe some guys you're going to need to count on next year. So if you can get a few minutes out of them tonight to fill some minutes and get some experience, I think that'd be good. But yeah, how are they going to bounce back? We saw it last week with the girls, had a nice come-from-behind win over Van Meter and, really fought on that one, and that was a fun win. And then Tuesday night turned around and just, didn't have that same intensity and energy level, which is human nature. So that could be the case for the boys tonight, but we'll see. You never know. I'm sure they'll give it their all, and whatever happens, happens.
Absolutely. That's our McKay Group Radio Keys to the Game. Auto, home, business, commercial, life, and health insurance. They're covering you in Knoxville and Oskaloosa. And then our coverage of the game presented by Michelle Gritter's Lux Photography. For the Mustangs, it is the road black uniforms with the red trim on those jerseys, white numbers, white lettering with the red outline there. For Dallas Center Grinds, for Pella Christian, it's the home white uniforms with the maroon numbers, the yellow letter, or the gold letters, gold outline on the numbers, red outline on the letters, and then the white, on the white jerseys, they have the red piping down the side. That's Colors of the Game presented by Michelle Gritter's Lux Photography, where your story becomes a masterpiece. Starting lineup presented by Pella Real Estate Services. And we'll start with the visitors from Dallas Center Grimes. It'll be a 5'10 senior guard number 2, Hudson Heideggerken. A 6-foot sophomore guard number 4, Chase Perrin. A 6'2 senior guard number 12, Brody Logan. A 6'10 senior center number 44, Luke Lorenzen. And 6'7 junior forward number 50, Brody Burke. For Pella Christian, it's going to line up like this. Number 3 is a 6'3 sophomore guard, Trey Steinkamp. 6'7 senior forward number 4, Gilbert Flagel. A 6'1 senior guard, number 13, Garrett Wheeler. 6'3 senior guard, number 15, Ben Van Weingarten. And 6'7 senior forward, number 22, Devin Runner. So I have the team lacking size here tonight. 4 bodies on the starting lineup that are above 6'7". So you got a rather large matchup here in this one.
Yeah, and so, it might be a case too. Admittedly, I haven't watched much of DCG this year. Just know historically kind of how they've played in the past. Might be a case, too, where, Devin and Gilbert, Devin's more than capable of shooting that three-pointer, so pulling maybe one of those bigs out away from the paint. And then Gilbert's capable as well. Hasn't seen too many go through, but maybe it's a case where he's got to step out and use that perimeter shooting ability a little bit to his advantage to give us some better opportunities here, because throwing the ball into the low post and trying to do some of that might not be your best key to success tonight. But we'll see how the Eagles choose to attack it.
Absolutely, that we will. That's our starting lineup presented by Pella Real Estate Services. They're a full-service brokerage with a lineup that includes...
Well, we've got residential sales, we've got commercial sales, commercial leasing, short-term rentals, long-term rentals, Airbnbs, lot sales. As we like to say, we're a full-service brokerage.
That's the way we like it. Call us 6281-BUY for Pella Real Estate Services. As I say, I gave you the warning last week. I gave Mike the warning. I gave Mike the warning last night. So I'm just like I said, we have some fun with that, right?
I'm sure Mike answered it a little more smoothly than I did.
I didn't make him do it last night because I just gave him that.
Oh, you gave him the heads up. Okay.
I gave him the heads up like I gave you last week.
Well,
So he told me easy peasy.
All right. Well, Coach Bukite, if you're listening tonight, you're on notice. Heads up.
He is on notice. Like I said, we got to have some fun, right? Every now and again. Here we go. We're ready for Pella Christian boys basketball here. Devin Runner in the center circle with Luca Lorenzen. And the opening tip presented by Dutch Mill Supply is in the air and controlled by Dallas Center Grimes. Hudson Heidegerken with the basketball. He'll give it to Burke, hand it back to Perrin. Perrin off the feed from Heidegerken is off the mark for three as Garrett Wheeler down with a rebound and able to get it to Trey Steinkamp before traveling with it.
And Perrin is a really good shooter, so it's going to be something to keep an eye on tonight, is how if they're able to affect him at all.
Ben Van Weingarten finds Flagel for the three-point attempt. His shot is off the mark. Rebounded by the Mustangs. In transition, the ball goes to Heidegerken. Got a step on Steinkamp for a moment. Feeds it back to Lorenzen. And the 6'10 big man not able to connect on the layup and knocks the rebound out of bounds.
Yeah, had a good look right at the rim there. So a little contest, but I'm sure he'd like to have that one back and just finish it strong.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure being applied to Trey Steinkamp, and Gilbert Flagel picked the ball up, I think, a little bit sooner than he was hoping to. With Steinkamp getting the pressure. Steinkamp looking to drive. Nothing there, and he'll give it up to Devin Runner on the left wing.
You know, in the back-to-back night, too, for Pella Christian, I think the pace of this game is going to be something to keep an eye on. If it's going to be slower in the half court, it's going to give him a little better chance here. Devin with an offensive rebound. He does so well.
Yeah, Flagel took the three-pointer, and that shot was at the mark, and then Garrett Wheeler passed to Ben Van Weingarten. Left it short. Trey Steinkamp, though, in transition, poking the ball away before the shot attempt can get off. In transition, the ball goes to Van Weingarten.
Yeah, and I was just going to finish up saying I don't think a track meet favors Pella Christian tonight, so you really got to control some possessions, which we've done a pretty good job of to this point this season. I don't anticipate that changing too much unless it has to.
Yeah, Devin Runner, a right wing three. And that's what you needed if you're the Eagles. Devin Runner knocking down the triple, makes it 3-0. Pella Christian leads 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. On the other end, Hudson Heidegerken goes to the basket, and he leaves the layup short, and Trey Steinkamp in transition. Gives it up to Devin Runner. He'll give it up to Garrett Wheeler. And now Steinkamp in the corner. Baseline drive, reverse, and just didn't get quite enough on that one, did Steinkamp, as Dallas Center Grimes the other way off the miss.
Maybe he got caught under the backboard just a little bit there.
Yep, and Heidegerken this time gets the floater to go in the lane, make it 3-2, Pella Christian leading Dallas Center Grimes with 5:18 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, and early on, Heidegerken's done a nice job putting pressure on the interior of the Eagles defense there, getting into the paint and getting some looks.
Yeah, Flagel giving up to Runner, now to the right wing for Ben Van Weingarten. Runner to Van Weingarten in the corner. Van Weingarten surveying, nothing there. Kicks to the corner. Garrett Wheeler answers with a triple. And it's 6-2 Pella Christian with 4:45 to go in the first quarter.
Well, that's about the perfect possession if you're Coach Steinkamp. You get deep into the shot clock, dribble all the way down, and then you're able to get a three to close it out. And that's what he wants to see here as this game unfolds.
Yeah, Ben Van Weingarten nearly got a steal. Heidegerken kicks it out. Three-pointer from the corner is off the mark by number 12, Brody Logan. But offensive board for Brody Burke.
Wow.
And he'll put it back up and in.
There's some of that length we were talking about. You know, Gilbert's usually pretty good about going up and getting those, but just trying to fight off two guys in there and gets the first tall one held off, but then the second one's able to come in and swoop that up.
Yeah, the Mustangs come with a double team up top there. The other thing you gotta like if you're Pella Christian, as Wyatt Valenta checks into the game for Lorenzen here, is you get that three from Wheeler. It's a big one considering you didn't know what his you didn't know what his health was going to be coming into tonight. And Flagel finds a cutting Ben Van Weingarten on the inbounds pass. He'll lay it in to make it 8-4 Pella Christian with 3:55 to go in the first quarter.
Mustangs sleeping there, so good hands
the
there by
Mustangs
Gil.
turn it over. In transition, Wheeler looking. He'll give it up to Flagel. He'll spin, go to the basket, and Flagel lays it in. And it's a quick Pella Motors timeout taken by Dallas Center Grimes here at Pella Motors. You'll drive away happy. That's the Pella Motors guarantee. And we'll talk about tonight's Randall Roofing Raise the Roof moment of the game. As Gilbert Flagel goes to the basket, it's a quick 10-4 start for Pella Christian. Here on the made bucket by Flagel. Your Raise the Roof moment of the game is brought to you by Randall Roofing. When the moment arises and it's time for a new roof, think Randall Roofing. And the one thing that I caution here, and why I'm going to call this an urgent situation as well, this happened last season for the Pella Christian boys basketball team. They came out and they led it, I want to say it was 12-2 early in that game. Dallas Center Grimes called a timeout. Head coach kind of lit into him in the timeout. And Dallas Center Grimes came out and ripped off like I think a 14-0 run. So, you know, I'm not saying that this is exactly the same as last year. They don't necessarily have the Cal Kaysen to worry about this year, but this is a big spot.
Yeah, we've had some
momentum.
We've had some fast starts against them at home, and they used an early timeout, and is that a little bump there?
Yeah, Griffin Stoltz came into the game for Wheelard, and he bumped Heideggerkin on the baseline drive. First foul either way in this one. Heideggerkin inbounds.
Wall up. Just, there you go.
Ball was into the hands of Valenta. Now it's Perrin driving, and he'll get the runner to go over the top of Devin Runner, who got put in no man's land.
Yeah, but I think if you're Coach Steinkamp, because Perrin is such a good shooter, you're okay with him getting run off the three-point line there, and if he makes those tough runners like that, then you're going to live with that.
And Flagel answers on the other end, burying the triple. 15-4, Pella Christian leads with 3 minutes to play in the first frame. And Heideggerkin on the other end, unable to connect on the runner. And the rebound went to Devin Runner. In transition, Runner wants the three. That one just off the mark. And Perrin trying to set up the offense, and he'll drive to the basket. His high arcing runner is no good. And now it's Stoltz in transition. He came into the game for Wheelard. Casey Mister presented by the Veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic in Pella.
They're the veterinarians.
The Eagles up to a 13-6 lead. They just adjusted the scoreboard. Got me confused for a moment. Ben Van Weingarten off the screen. He'll kick. Flagel left wing three. That one's too strong. And then Stoltz going to poke the ball away from behind from Heideggerkin. There's more substitutions coming for the Mustangs. It'll be number 10, Cooper Houston, and number 30, Landon Hoppy.
Yeah, but I think that's more the possession you probably want if you're Coach Steinkamp that you just had there. You know, get a little bit of clock burnt. Not that Devin's shot in transition was a bad three. He just hit one, so can't fault the guy for looking for another one, but maybe that one was a little earlier than what Coach Steinkamp would probably like there. Just because, like I said, you don't have a ton of bodies to work with, and the pace of play is going to be key here.
And a full Pella Motors timeout. Dallas Center Grimes' coach is so upset right now.
Yeah. Well,
I would say he was very demonstrative in calling that timeout.
Yeah, you know,
not happy with just the lack of motion.
Coach Rankin's won a lot of games through the years, and it doesn't happen by accident. You know, you get talent, but you got to coach talent up too. And I've seen through the years with some other boys of mine playing, I've seen this scenario play out. You know, Burns one timeout, and he's kind of polite about it, and he doesn't get what he wants, and the second timeout comes, and the torch gets lit, so to say. And typically what I've seen in the past is his players respond to that, and that kind of cleans some things up. But, you know, to be a successful coach, you got to be demanding, and he is that, and they've had a lot of success over the years because of that. So,
yeah, so Dallas Center Grimes setting up their offense. Gilbert Flagel getting a breather with Garrett Wheelard in there. Game reset wired by Center Point Electric. Minute 59 to go in the first quarter. And Pella Christian leads Dallas Center Grimes 13-6. Cooper Houston gets the basketball out of the timeout. We'll get you the Marion County Bank radio scoreboard here in just a minute. As it's Perrin looking for Houston. They're looking inside for Brody Burke, working against Devin Runner. Now they'll get him the basketball. Working against Runner. Tough turnaround shot, no good. Great defense there by Devin Runner. As now in transition, the ball goes to Van Weingarten. And the Eagles will slow it down for a moment and set up in the half court. Steinkamp going to kick to Runner. Runner driving to the basket. Count it, and one. Devin Runner with 5 quick ones.
Yeah, and that was set up by the fact that Devin can hit that 3. So you've got to respect that. And the fact that he's hit one, the defender's got to respect it just enough. And we don't see Devin too often put the ball on the floor like that and go to the rim. But he did there, and he's going to try to capitalize.
And the free throw is good. And that'll give him 6 as Gilbert Flagel going to check in for a runner here. Fouling on number 22, Wyatt Valenta. His first, and Dallas Center Grimes first. Pingles Home Store Instant Radio Update. Cardinal 54, Knoxville 22, a final in girls basketball. And Pella Christian nearly forced a mistake as Cooper Houston driving. Kicks to the corner for Chase Perrin, who goes to the basket. And
just a little late on the rotation there on Garrett, it looked like.
Garrett Wheeler whistled for the push.
Got him with the body just a little bit.
And Valenta checks out with Luke Lorenzen coming back in. Perrin going to the line to shoot 1 as it's 17-8. I imagine this is going to be a substitution for Steinkamp. Give him a breather. Devin Runner coming back in. Try to get a couple.
Trying to get guys out long enough to get a water break and keep shuffling them through there. So
yeah, catch your breath just long enough. Perrin makes the free throw. And Griffin Stoltz will bring the ball up here for the Eagles.
So it looks like DCG's slid into a little 2-3 zone here.
That they have. Wheeler to the short corner for Runner. Back out to Stoltz. To Wheeler. Again to the short corner for Runner.
Oh, look out.
Ooh, dangerous pass there from Wheeler. Is intercepted by the Mustangs, and Cooper Houston makes him pay on the Eagles' second turnover.
Yeah, and Coach Steinkamp wanted him to take a little bit longer just to get that shot clock in their favor here, but can do pretty much run it down if they want. 3-second differential, 2 seconds, so.
Yeah, they're going to pull Stoltz out and try to run the clock down.
I still want to get too cute here.
Yeah, the Eagles moving the basketball around here. It's Flagel on the high post to Stoltz to the corner. Wheeler drives, and Wheeler had the ball poked out of his hands. As Perrin to the basket, and he'll get the runner to go. And that is not what you wanted if you're the Eagles there. As Dallas Center Grimes makes it 16-13 at the end of the first quarter. Pella Christian still with the lead. And we'll be right back on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel, power inside the Element Siding and Windows radio broadcast booth.
Randall Roofing is proud to sponsor the Raise the Roof moment of the game.
Runner with 4 on the shot clock. Gets trapped. Back to Rachel Kegmarinsky, who throws up the 3, and it goes in. There we go. Randall Roofing, raise the roof moment of the game. When the moment arises and it's time.
Randy Jarzonvik here, owner of Randall Roofing. Randall Roofing is your full-service roofing and gutter contractor specializing in replacements, new construction, and repairs in South Central Iowa. We partner with CertainTeed to elevate your home's protection using industry-leading technologies.
If you've been holding out on starting the search for your next home, your patience might have just paid off. Hi, this is Brennan Foudy with Pella Real Estate Services, and right now is a great time to buy. We're seeing increased inventory in all price ranges, and interest rates are becoming more favorable. Schedule a buyer consultation so that we can start looking for your next home by calling 628-1BUI and visiting with me or any member of our team at Pella Real Estate Services.
Welcome back here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel. Pella Christian 16, Dallas Center Grimes 13 going into the second quarter. Marion County Bank Radio scoreboard. We're the only boys game that's got a quarter score in the books. But the Pella Christian girls fell to Dallas Center Grimes. Pella fell to Indianola. Norwalk defeated Newton, and Cardinal defeated Knoxville in girls basketball. That's the Marion County Bank Radio scoreboard. Marion County's financial leaders, Marion County Bank, with offices in Pella, Knoxville, and Milford, Dallas, are serving you and building community across the county. And Pella Christian turning the ball over on their first possession here of the second quarter.
Yeah, not how you wanted to start the quarter, coming out of the quarter with the ball.
Yeah, ball goes inside for Lorenzen, and he'll just use the size to go over the top of runner for the left-handed lay-in, and Dallas Center Grimes has closed this down to a 1-point game, 16-15, 7:22 to go in the second.
Which you knew they were going to respond. They're too well coached and too strong of a basketball team to not respond.
Yeah, the 2-3 zone proving to be somewhat effective here for the Mustangs as the Eagles struggling to find any openings.
High post area.
Flagel finding Trey Steinkamp wide open in the left corner, off back iron, but great job by Flagel to get the offensive board.
Give him a second chance here. Maybe you can capitalize on it.
Steinkamp gonna drive, finds Flagel in the middle of the lane. His push shot just a little too strong. Good ball movement there for the Eagles, but just not able to put an end to this 6-0 spurt for Dallas Center Grimes.
See if they come back to that high-low action there and get Lorenzen the ball in the touch, in the post touch.
Yeah, ball in the hands of Cooper Houston. He's setting up the offense. Dallas Center Grimes looks confused. Now they're gonna reset. As Perrin pulls up just inside the three-point line from straight away, and Chase Perrin makes it an 8-0 run for Dallas Center Grimes. 17-16 DCG on top with 6:04 to go in the second quarter.
And I think if you're Pella Christian, you're gonna live with that shot. That was tightly contested, long two, and credit to Perrin. He's good. Like I said, he's a good shooter. He just hit it. So long.
Yeah, Griffin Stoltz for three, too strong. And now in transition, ball's gonna find its way to Burke. Now Hoppy will turn it over. Third turnover for the Mustangs. And Trey Steinkamp has the ball taken away as he was going up for the shot. And in transition,
couldn't secure it.
Chase Houston, or Cooper Houston, excuse me, tried to go to the basket, and Gilbert Flagel played a little bit of volleyball.
Yeah, been nice they could have secured that rebound, but nice job by Gil protecting the rim there on the transition bucket.
Now ball goes to Burke, working against Flagel. And ball has kicked back out to Houston. Houston will lose it, and it's Ben Van Weingarten coming away with it. And in transition, he'll get it to Steinkamp, who will lay it in. And Pella Christian's back on top, 18-17, 5:06 to go in the second quarter. Who's Always Open, presented by Anytime Fitness. Not necessarily just because he was open or anything like that, but transition is always open. Pella Christian pays it off.
It was.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it was there, and I think for Pella Christian, it's like I said, you don't want to get into a track meet just with the short rotation and playing last night, but you want to be selective, and you still want to run some, and you just got to be able to capitalize on it when you do.
Yeah, the Eagles trying to set up here offensively after Luke Lorenzen made the bucket. Again, that was Who's Always Open, presented by Anytime Fitness, the 24/7 gym that fits your lifestyle, your fitness, your way. Anytime Fitness. Ben Van Weingarten overshot the three, but as we said last week, if you're going to be long, might as well shoot it from straight away. You got the backboard to help you.
Yeah.
Van Weingarten puts Pella Christian back up 21-19, 4:15 to go in the second quarter.
And apparently the bank's always open when you're talking about who's always open. So
hey, we like when the bank is open.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and missed shot there by Landon Hoppy, no good. Runner had the rebound secured there. It took a little bit to get the whistle called there on number 44 or 50?
I think Lorenzen got that one.
Yeah, it was 44. So first foul on Lorenzen, first foul on DCG in the quarter. Mustangs with a slew of substitutions as Hudson Heideggerkin back into the game. It's Perrin. I think it's Valenta out there, and then also number 12, Brody Logan back in.
Yeah, back to man-to-man defense here. So out of that 2-3 zone that they were in for a while.
Yeah, it's Flagel. He's looking to drive, but nothing there with the height of Lorenzen, causing some issues.
8 on the shot
Cross-court,
clock.
Devin Runner, left wing, 3, no. Rebounded by Lorenzen. And the other way, Brody Logan gives it off to Heideggerkin. Getting the offensive call. Lorenzen for 3, no good. Rebound got poked out of the hands of Runner, and there is Brody Logan to follow it up there. And
yeah, nice job by the DCG player just keeping that one alive. And unfortunately for the Eagles, not able to secure that rebound, and leads to second chance points.
yeah, we do have a Pingles Home Store Instant Radio update. Norwalk 18, Newton 9 at the end of the first quarter here in the Pella Motors timeout. And we look at our Marion County Bank radio scoreboard. Pella Christian, Dallas Center Grimes knotted up at 21s with 3:13 to go in the second quarter. Norwalk leading Newton 18-9 at the end of the first quarter. We also had in girls basketball our winners tonight: Dallas Center Grimes over Pella Christian, Indianola over Pella, Norwalk over Newton, and Cardinal over Knoxville. That's the Marion County Bank radio scoreboard. Casey Miss presented by the veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic. Nice little run here for the Mustangs. Has pulled them back within it. Pella Christian jumped out to a big start, but the Mustangs done a nice job to rally. And again, that's in case you missed, presented by the veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic in Pella.
They're the veterinarians.
Great look at a three from Devin Runner off the feed from Trey Steinkamp, but it was strong off the back iron. And then Dallas Center Grimes
Had to be out of bounds.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, I thought it was out of bounds the first time.
But I will say the official's about 2 feet away from the ball, and we're probably about 75 feet away from the ball.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm going to take his point of view on this one. But
Oh, 100%. That first one, it just looked like he was.
somehow it just
looked like he
rolled
was
right
there,
down the
but-
sideline there. It must have just been in just by enough. So
Yeah, that
either
was
way,
just really strange.
yeah. Either way, the Eagles get the ball back and see if they can capitalize here.
Yeah, another Pingles Home Store Instant Radio update. Pella 21, Indianola 10 at the end of the first quarter. As Trey Steinkamp with the basketball out top. Pick and roll with Flagel, and now it goes into Runner, and the Mustangs poke it away. Not enough spacing there on the
No.
pick and roll for the Eagles.
Well, got a little tight in the corner there and unable to do anything with that.
Yeah, Perrin kicks it to Heideggerken. Now the ball goes in for Lorenzen in the post, and Flagel came with a nice double team,
yep.
but Lorenzen able to just power up and in as Dallas Center Grimes just reclaims a 23-21 lead with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice dig down there by Gill. Just credit to Lorenzen, strong enough to fight through that and still get it up and in.
Flagel, three on the left wing. Big answer. We go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. 24-23.
Like I said, we talked about Gilbert's more than capable of hitting those. So for him to be able to step out and do that.
Yeah. And then the pass for Lorenzen bobbled and goes out of bounds off the Mustangs, so it'll be Pella Christian basketball. It's an urgent situation presented by Pella Regional Health Center, a minute 37 to go. And Pella Christian with a 24-23 lead. This is going to be huge going to the locker room. If you can take the lead in, get that momentum, that would be huge in our urgent situation presented by Pella Regional Health Center.
Yeah, and I think even if you can maintain and keep this, within one or a two possession game, worst case, I think what you just can't have happen is to give up a big run here and let DCG get a lot of momentum going into half. So if you can burn some clock, get a good look, maybe get a score, go a long ways towards the second half.
Yeah, Flagel not able to find enough space to get the shot off. Instead, he'll get it out to Trey Steinkamp. He missed the three-pointer, and then the Eagles' Devin Runner will commit the foul on the offensive board attempt, his first of the game and the Eagles' first of the quarter. Game reset wired by Center Point Electric. Pella Christian 24, Dallas Center Grimes 23 with a minute 03 to go in the second quarter. That's a game reset wired by Center Point Electric, where they're wired for excellence. Hudson Heideggerken, they were trying to get a back screen for,
there we go.
They were trying to set up the back screen for Chase Perrin there. Instead, they went to Brody Burke, and Burke walked with the basketball. That's the Mustangs' fourth turnover of their quarter, sixth of the game. So Trey Steinkamp will bring it up here. About a 13-second difference between shot and game clock. Steinkamp will hand it off to Van Weingarten, and he'll give to Runner. Over to Stoltz. Off of a pair of screens. Stoltz going to kick it back to Flagel. Flagel with a couple jab steps, and now we'll give it to Runner.
Yeah, shot clock under 10, down to 5.
Yep, and it's going to be Stoltz from the corner for three! Griffin Stoltz knocking down the triple. The Eagles lead it by 4. 9 seconds to go in the second quarter. 27 to 23.
See if they can get a
5
stop.
seconds. Hudson Heinegerken drives in the basket and he turns it over. And Pella Christian with a strong end of the second quarter. They lead at 27 to 23 at halftime. We'll be back with the Central Tornado Radio halftime show after this on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel. Christian YouTube.
A warning to moms of class of 27 senior boys. They aren't going to be thrilled when you ask about senior pictures. Common responses are, ugh, fine, whatever. I know, I'm one of those moms myself. I'm Michelle Gritters with Lux Photography, and my senior photo sessions are different. They're easy and relaxed, and I seem to have a knack for bringing out real smiles, even in the grumpiest of teens. And the best part is that it ends up being a really special day for you and your son. So if you've got a class of 27 senior boys, schedule a session at michellegritters.com. Most guys end up actually enjoying it.
Turn up the flavor at Scooter's Coffee and Pella. Sip the Caramelicious, iced or blended, or refresh with a bubbly berry spritz sparkling soda. Cozy up to a banana bread chai or latte paired perfectly with the banana bread muffin. Cruise through Scooter's Coffee and Pella for bold flavor, friendly smiles, and fast service every day, morning, afternoon, and evening. Scooter's Coffee and Pella. Amazing drinks, amazing people, amazingly fast.
Community First Credit Union's best auto loan refinance offer is back. Enjoy an excellent rate plus no payments for 90 days. 2 great specials in one. Available for a limited time only. We make financing simple with fast, convenient online applications and easy pre-approval. Whether you're buying new, purchasing used, or refinancing your current auto loan, drive away with a vehicle loan from See First, where together is better. Stop by or apply online today at seefirstcu.com.
Subject to credit approval and program qualifications. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Rev up your ride with unbeatable deals at PellaMotors.com. We're dealing so you can drive away happy. Don't miss out on our incredible offers on Chevy, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. Find your perfect ride at PellaMotors.com.
Welcome back here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel. We're getting our halftime entertainment in here. It's country club night for the student section, and so someone has lifted up one of the spots on the floor where you'd put a volleyball. I think that's a volleyball stanchion line,
it
right?
Is, yeah.
As I say, I thought so. Where you put the stanchion in there for the volleyball net. They lifted that up, and someone brought a putter and a golf ball, and we're now trying to putt into that. So if you hear a noise in the background, that's what you're hearing. They're not working. It's not working. It's not. They said that the space for the stanchion there is not big enough for the golf ball to sit. So that's their determination because they couldn't make the putt. But
yeah, it's maybe hit up physics class tomorrow and try to understand why this probably is not going to be real productive at the speed with which the ball is rolling.
Yeah. Say they're just hitting it too hard.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to basketball. Pella Christian 27, Dallas Center Grimes 23 in boys basketball at the half here. And we look at the Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show for tires, front end work. Their no appointment oil change and full mechanical work on your vehicle. Stop and see Sean DeWard and his crew next to Walmart in Pella. But 6:45 before we return to play, and if you're Pella Christian, you had to be extremely thrilled with how half number one went, coming off of a big emotional win against Knoxville last night. You come back out here tonight, you're facing a Dallas Center Grimes team that is really it's really designed to take you out of your rhythm. We played through the inside out game pretty much all year, and Dallas Center Grimes, a team that is set up to slow that down, and the Eagles came out here in the first half, knocked down some perimeter shots as we talked about, and able to build that 4-point lead here in the first half.
Yeah, having bigs that can step out and be a threat from the perimeter is huge. So, Gil's ability to do that, Devin's ability to do that really helps draw the two DCG bigs away from the rim a little bit and kind of puts them out in space. which is to our advantage there. So I think if you're Pella Christian, if you're Coach Steinkamp, coming off of, we talked about in the pregame, this kind of an emotional win last night where not a lot of guys are playing, and there's a lot of energy spent, and the second night of a back-to-back is always tough. But I think if you're the staff and the coaches, you couldn't have drawn up a better first half than what unfolded for you there. So everything that you would want to happen for the most part did, you have to know that there's an emotional surge that kicks in initially. So the question is, does it wear off here as the second half plays on, as legs start to get tired, get into the 7th and 8th quarters in the last 2 nights, and expand a lot of energy there. So just something for me to keep an eye on here. But you could not have started, like I said, you couldn't have drawn up a better first half if you're Pella Christian. So now there's going to be a run coming. I wouldn't be surprised to see some defensive changes from Dallas Center Grimes a little bit, maybe mix in a 1-3-1. They've played a lot in the past, so we'll just have to keep an eye on it. But again, I think the long possessions work to our advantage. I'm not saying it favors us, but it definitely works to our advantage more than an up and down fast-paced game tonight.
Absolutely, I would agree with that. As we go inside the numbers delivered by Pella Fiber, looking at my numbers, what I've got here, Gilbert Flagel leading Pella Christian, scoring with 8 points. Devin Runner has 6. Ben Van Weingarten has 5. Griffin Stoltz, Garrett Wheeler each with 3, and then Trey Steinkamp with 2. For Dallas Center Grimes, it's 9 for Chase Perrin, 6 for Luke Lorenzen, 2 apiece for Brody Burke, Hudson Heideggerkin, Brody Logan, and Cooper Houston. That's what I have for my numbers. Rebounding, I felt like, I don't know officially, but it felt like it was pretty even there in half number 1.
Yeah, pretty balanced. Both teams, pretty even, I think, rebounding, pretty even in turnover game there. So, and that could be something too as we go forward here with just some second chance opportunities. And if one team should happen to get a few more of those, are they able to capitalize? And that could end up being the difference as well moving forward.
Absolutely. That's inside the numbers delivered by Pella Fiber, where every home gets a gig. Join today at PellaFiber.com. Our second half adjustments presented by DeYoung Door Service. Aaron, I would say that, if you're the Eagles offensively, I don't know that there's much I would change. I think on the defensive end of the floor, you start to see it for Dallas Center Grimes late in that first half, where they started to attack the inside game with Lorenzen and Burke even a little bit, try to take advantage a little bit of their size. I think if you're Pella Christian, you're going to have to find a way to slow that down and really not allow that to get going. I think, I could be wrong on this. I don't know 100% Coach Steinkamp's philosophy on this, but, if I'm going to lose, I would rather lose by somebody out shooting me from 20 to 30 feet away from the basket than 2 to 3 feet away from the basket.
Yeah, I think from a defensive mindset, it's really, I think you want to keep Perrin from getting going. He's a great shooter, and so I think if you can continue to kind of make him work for some shots, make it difficult for him, keep him from getting hot from 3, that's gonna work to your advantage as well. And if you get some of those post-up touches that we've seen there, we've seen some dig downs and guys getting active in there, and just be able to clean some of those up and finish out defensive possessions.
Absolutely. That is our second half adjustments presented by DeYoung Door Service. If it's time for a new garage door for your home or business, stop and see the gurus of garage doors at their showroom at 908 Roosevelt Road, just west of Pella Christian High School. You've been listening to the Central Tire and Auto Radio halftime show. For tires, front end work, their no appointment oil change, and full mechanical work on your vehicle. Stop and see Sean DeWard and his crew next to Walmart and Pella. Take a short time out. We'll be back for the third quarter when we return here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel inside the Element Siding and Windows radio broadcast booth. Again, Pella Christian 27, Dallas Center Grimes 23 at the intermission.
Local is our heartbeat. Since 1935, Marion County Bank has backed local businesses with real relationships and real solutions. We've helped our neighbors buy their first or forever homes and delivered practical banking options that fit your story every step of the way. We invite you to celebrate local and bank local. Come see us today. Marion County Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Win winter with the Toro Power Clear Single Stage Snowblower that is loaded with power in a compact size. They are easily maneuverable and clear snow down to the pavement. Get your power clear at DeRuyter Lawn Equipment in Pella. Toro, America's #1 snowblower brand.
Weather any storm with the Toro Flex Force electric snowblower that has the most powerful 60-volt battery in its class. Plus, you get the same rugged construction as Toro's gas-powered models. Get your Flex Force snowblower at DeRuyter Lawn Equipment. Toro, America's #1 snowblower brand.
Welcome back here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel inside the Element Sighting and Windows radio broadcast booth. Let's look at the Marion County Bank radio scoreboard, which takes us into some Pingles Home Store Instant Radio updates. We got Norwalk 35, Newton 15 at halftime there. Pella leads Indianola 33-25 at the half. And then our scores, we start the second half 27-23. Pella Christian leads Dallas Center Grimes. It's the Marion County Bank radio scoreboard. Out of the intermission, Brody Logan going to try a mid-range jumper from the left side. No. Luke Lorenzen, though, with the offensive board. And that's what we talked about, Aaron, where you can't have that is Logan misses the shot, but Lorenzen on the glass and makes the Eagles pay and pulls Dallas Center Grimes back within 2.
Yeah, that's one of the things they mentioned there. If second chance points become available, is one team able to capitalize on that more than the other? And right out of the gate, DCG was able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, and a nice job by Gilbert Flagel to find Garrett Wheeler, who buries his second triple of the game. He's up to 6 points.
Yeah, those are big points there for Garrett.
That they are, and Chase Perrin will reset the Dallas Center Grimes offense at the Eagles logo at half court. Now it's going to be Brody Logan for a left wing 3, and he'll knock that one down. He's up to 5 points, and a big answer pulls Dallas Center Grimes back within 2. It's 30-28 with 6:45 to go in the third quarter. It's Flagel with the basketball, defended by Heideggerken. Ben Van Weingarten to Garrett Wheeler. I think that was an anticipation of a normal play as Brody Logan can get another 3 from the left corner. That one no good. And Steinkamp was unable to run that one down before it went out of bounds off of him.
Yep, so again, another second chance point opportunity here for the Mustangs. So if you're Pella Christian, you really got to lock in and get a stop here. And if you're DCG, you're looking to capitalize on it.
Yeah, and I think that last possession for Pella Christian there, Garrett Wheeler a little bit hampered by an ankle injury. I think Ben just kind of anticipated that usual speed that Garrett has coming across the baseline there, and Garrett didn't quite have that gear.
Yeah, a little slow coming around there, which is to be expected.
Yeah, Hudson Heideggerken to the basket, left it short on the layup. He tried to sneak it in there under the arm of Trey Steinkamp. But Pella Christian with the basketball on the other end. As Flagel will give to Steinkamp. Steinkamp is going to go back to Flagel. 3-pointer from the right wing. Too strong, no good. And the other way, it's Brody Burke. Trying to attack on Flagel. No good. And Lorenzen will knock it out of bounds.
Yeah.
Good defense there by Flagel in transition.
Maybe got away with a little hit on the arm, but wasn't called, so play on.
Yeah. So Steinkamp going to bring it up here for the Eagles. 5.5 to go in the third quarter. It's 30-28. Pella Christian on top of the Mustangs. And Steinkamp on the left wing. They'll give it up to Wheeler in the corner. Wheeler driving, kicking to runner, and back out to Van Weingarten. Left wing 3 from Flagel. That one too strong off back iron. And that one rebounded by the Mustangs. Heideggerken off the screen, feeds it down, and that's just too easy for Lorenzen to lay it in and tie it up at 30-30. 4:55 to go in the third quarter. Wheeler giving the basketball to Flagel. Van Weingarten with it. Kicks it to Flagel. Flagel going to hand it off to Runner. Now Van Weingarten with it. Over to Steinkamp on the right wing. You're listening to Pella Christian Basketball, powered by Bank Iowa on 92.1 KRLS. Knoxville, Pella Newton, and KRLS HD1. Knoxville, Pella Newton, everyone has a goal, an inspiration, a reason for being. Whatever that is for you, Bank Iowa says,
let's make it happen.
And Gilbert Flagel knocking down the triple there and puts Pella Christian back up by 3, 33-30 with 4:12 to go in the third quarter. As Griffin Stoltz back to the scorer's table.
Yeah, that might be the third three-point attempt for Gilbert this quarter already, and I was just going to mention I don't want to see him just, even with the height, I don't want to see him just settle for those three-point looks all the time, but if you're going to make them, then I guess it's fine.
Yeah, Chase Perrin got some separation from Ben Van Weingarten and knocked down the mid-range jumper from the baseline to make it 33-32. Pella Christian still with the lead. Dallas Center Grimes goes back to man, but they put Lorenzen on Steinkamp, and that is not the right move as he blows by him and lays it in on the left side, make it 35-32, Pella Christian on top.
Can't imagine the coaches were real thrilled with that closeout there, and Trey smartly, seeing the size coming at him, was able to just put the ball on the ground and get around it. So
yeah, Perrin working the pick and roll there, able to get to the free throw line and pull up and knock down the jumper. Chase Perrin with 11 points now for Dallas Center Grimes as Flagel into the paint, has nowhere to go. Wheeler driving, able to kick it out. Devin Runner, left wing, three, in and out.
Trey.
Yeah, but Steinkamp jumping into Burke on the offensive rebound attempt. First foul on Trey, first foul on the team. So you'll live with that as Runner off the mark on the three.
You like that he's crashing the board here, and Coach Steinkamp's going to take a timeout, give four of his guys a little breather here, a 5-minute stretch in the third quarter.
Yeah.
So going to have to strategically use those as the game goes on. Just you know, if you're not going to go into the bench, just to give guys a little bit of breathers here, especially with Garrett being a little bit hobbled tonight and not full strength.
Yeah, in case you missed it, presented by the veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic in Pella. Eagles, they were already shorthanded coming out of the break with Caleb Volk going down, not necessarily with a new injury, just an old injury that's reared its head.
Yep.
Then Garrett Wheeler last night rolls an ankle, and he's fighting through it, but you can tell it's not quite the same for him tonight. Just not necessarily the same gear and same aggression from him. And the Eagles hanging tough despite that. They lead 35-34 here with 2:54 to go in the third quarter. That's in case you missed it, presented by the veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic.
They're the veterinarians.
And real quick, that takes us into a game reset, wired by Center Point Electric. Pella Christian 35, Dallas Center Grimes 34, 2:54 to go in the third quarter. Out of the Pella Motors timeout, Garrett Wheeler gets a breather with Griffin Stoltz coming back in. And a Pingles Home Store Instant Radio update. Pella 33, Indianola 25 at halftime. Knoxville taking their frustrations out from last night as they lead 26-6 at the end of the first quarter against Cardinal. And the Eagles force a turnover on the Dallas Center Grimes possession out of the timeout. That's your Pingles Home Store Instant Radio update. As Gilbert Flagel goes to the basket and is fouled by Luke Lorenzen, who picks up his second foul and the team's first of the quarter.
Yeah, and the Mustangs had set up a nice little backdoor cut there coming out of the timeout for Perrin, and good hands by Ben getting in there and deflecting that and able to secure the loose ball. And other end, see if Gilbert can capitalize with a couple free throws here. And maybe he's continuing his tradition his
trend from last night.
Yeah,
he missed the first. He went to the line 4 times. He missed the first shot on every single one. He made the second shot on all of them.
Maybe he needs to step up there and just shoot a fake one before he gets the ball on his first one.
Yeah, made the first.
Get it out of
made
his
the
system.
second one.
Yeah.
So he continued it. So his last 5 trips to the line,
right.
Gilbert's 5 for 10 and missed the
0
first
for 5
on
and 5 for 5.
Yeah.
So
Hudson Heidegger setting up the offense, giving it to Chase Perrin. Perrin working on the pick and roll. Nice fadeaway.
That's a tough shot.
That's a tough shot. And
yep.
if you're Pella Christian, you just tip your hat.
Yep. that's what I said. He's a great shooter, and I think you really just want to try to keep him from going. And Ben's defended him very well. Credit to him for hitting those shots as Gill gets called for the moving screen there.
Yeah, and the Eagles are disappointed by that one because they felt like Lorenzen's got away with a couple of those.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit of tiredness on Gill's part. Just lose focus for just a minute, and he didn't get away with it that time. So
yeah, ball goes to Lorenzen in the post, and he'll get by Runner and lay it in. And Dallas Center Grimes is back on top, 38-36. A minute 40 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, the difference there was he did a nice job of just catching and going right away. Didn't give any type of double team or help defense a chance to come over.
Yeah, and Gilbert Flagel will answer on the other end with a triple. He's got 15, and the Eagles back on top, 39-38. Perrin off of the screen of Lorenzen. Shot no good. Lorenzen missed on the putback. And Pella Christian gets the basketball as it goes out of bounds. Lorenzen comes out of the game with number 30, Landon Hoppy. And Garrett Wheeler going to come back into the game for Devin Runner. Dallas Center Grimes going to go back to the zone with Brody Burke in the middle. It's a 2-3 zone.
And they're extending it out there pretty good. So
yeah, it's kind of almost a 2-3 matchup.
Trying to push the Eagles out towards the volleyball line a little bit and maybe force them into a little longer look than they would hope for.
Yeah, Trey Steinkamp, nice baseline feed. Garrett Wheeler cuts in. Yeah. He'll lay it in on the left side, and Pedley Christian back up 3, 41-38 with 48.2 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, great vision by there, Trey, on the baseline drive, and great dive cut by Garrett coming off of that as well. So.
Yeah, and Hudson Heidegger can get to the basket, use the rim to protect it from Flagel the first time. And then Brody Burke got 4 chances at it, and he missed all 4 of them.
Yeah.
But the ball goes out of bounds off of the Eagles, so this will be the 6th chance of the possession as Heidegger comes out of the game and Chase Houston comes in.
Yeah. I think Burke, if he just would have grabbed it with 2 hands, came down and powered up and through, would have probably been okay there. So.
Yeah, Burke gets the inbound. Houston going back to Burke, working against Flagel in the post. And Burke powers up and in that time. So
finally
on try number 5 of the possession, Burke gets it to go.
Didn't help his field goal percentage, but it helped his rebounding stats with 8 seconds left here.
Yeah, Eagles are holding for the final shot here. 4 on the clock. Steinkamp got by his guy and had the ball poked away with 1.6.
So we're gonna have to have something quick coming out of the baseline here. 1.6. Gonna get the ball to start the fourth quarter too, so this would be huge if you could steal a little easy bucket here.
Yeah, Van Weingarten tried to get it into Flagel. And the Eagles turned it over.
Yep.
And the full court heave by Houston, no good. So 41-40, Penley Christian takes the lead into the fourth quarter. See if they can hang on to it here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Penley Christian YouTube channel. And got another Pingles Home Store Instant Radio update. We're talking about it as a busy week for the Eagles. Well, we got another Eagle in action with Eric Mulder getting ready to tip off in his first rivalry matchup in Fog Allen Fieldhouse.
Well, there you go.
Iowa State, Kansas starting up.
Yeah.
So
a little different experience than the traditional road conference game at Purdue Fort Wayne, I would imagine.
Yeah. Or, I mean, and I'm not knocking the Little Hawk guy, but, I mean, Pella PC rivalry night, great atmosphere. I can't imagine Iowa State, Kansas in Fog Allen Fieldhouse.
Yeah, there's just, regardless of the sport, regardless of the level, there's just certain arenas and gymnasiums and stadiums that are just kind of iconic. And if you enjoy basketball of any level, and even if you're not a Kansas fan, to go to Fog Allen, just experience it. It's like going to Wrigley Field or Fenway Park or the old Yankee Stadium and some of these places. So it's just cool experience for him, and I'm sure the Clones will compete just well, just fine tonight.
100%. They've been rolling. Gilbert Flagel with the basketball to start the fourth quarter. Trey Steinkamp now on the right wing. To Ben Van Weingarten. Devin Runner over to Flagel. Flagel looking to drive on Valenta. Able to find Ben Van Weingarten on the backside, who will lay it in. 43-40 with 7:35 to go in the fourth quarter. And Dallas Center Grimes will call timeout.
Yeah, two things there. One, it's first, it's the patience, right? He didn't panic, had the double team come over, didn't panic, and then second, it's the vision. Just to be able to look around there, and Ben did a nice job just sneaking in off that double team, and the Mustangs kind of fell asleep with the rotation there, dropping down, and you know, if you're them, you want to see that ball get kicked out to the three-point line versus just a little wraparound lay-in and take your chances with the perimeter shot instead.
Yeah, and it was Perrin was the guy that Coach Rankin was talking to. He's like, you got to rotate down there. He got stuck out on the wing defending the wing defender and left Van Weingarten alone. But
but credit to Ben, just sneaking in there and taking advantage. Defense falls asleep and take advantage of it. So
yeah, and why not? Basketball into the hands of Brody Logan. Now back out Cooper Houston. Brody Burke trying to power through Devin Runner, and he lost the ball and threw it away. 9th Dallas Center Grimes turnover as Luke Lorenzen comes back into the game for Wyatt Valenta. I just noticed this. I mentioned Kyle Kaysen earlier. He's in attendance tonight across the way.
There you go.
Point guard, starting point guard now for the Central men's basketball team.
Hasn't started classes back up yet, so trying to kill a little time, get off campus.
Yeah. Kind of relax before tomorrow they go to Simpson College.
All right,
for a doubleheader.
At least it's a short trip.
Yeah, exactly right. Much shorter than Saturday when they were in Decorah.
Yeah, or Wesleyan, or multiple trips to Dubuque. Take your pick.
Yeah, Gilbert Flagel, 3 from the right wing. Gilbert Flagel has knocked down his last 3 triples. Eagles lead by 6. 6:40 to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, nice job by Griff there. Just dribble penetration, and defense sucked off a little bit. And defensively, they've got caught on a double screen there.
Yeah, Perrin not able to answer though, but Brody Burke able to buy another possession. Yeah, they set up the elevator screen for Perrin. The doors closed, and Griffin had nowhere to go. Now it's going to be a left wing 3 by Perrin, and he'll knock that one down. And that's a tough spot for Griffin, where it's like the screen was there. He's kind of trying to play the screen a little bit, and also.
Yeah, but I think if you're Coach Steinkamp, you'd rather see him overplay the jump shot there and make him put the ball on the floor. And if he beats you going to the rim, fine, but you can't let him beat you.
Yeah, Flagel is looking. He's going to be able to get it out to Ben Van Weingarten and go to the corner for Devin Runner. Now Trey Steinkamp. Steinkamp looking for a driving lane. Ben Van Weingarten able to get it to Houston, or get by Houston.
Just a little miscommunication
he and Devin
there.
weren't on the same page.
He zigged and Devin zagged, and the ball went out of bounds. So.
Yeah, 46-43, 5:42 to go in the fourth quarter. That's a game reset wired by Centerpoint Electric. In case you missed it, presented by the Veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic. The Eagles doing their best to make do with limited bench and run away from Dallas Center Grimes as Ben Van Weingarten forces the turnover and then gets the foul on Cooper Houston.
Let's hope Ben's okay.
A
little bit of hobble there, but
yeah.
I see they did switch back. They'd had Griff on Perrin for a few possessions. I think partly just to give Ben just a quick breather. Not that you can take plays off when you're not guarding him, but he spent a lot of time last night running around screens, chasing Norris around, and tonight you come in and you're chasing Perrin around, and it takes its toll on you. And Ben is a tremendous individual defender, and he works hard, and back on him there. That possession and leads to the turnover. So,
yeah, ball in the hands of Trey Steinkamp. Now Ben Van Weingarten to the top of the key. Left side, Trey Steinkamp drives, kicks, right wing 3. Devin Runner did catch a piece of the rim.
Did. He would have been better off on an air ball there because we had some guys crashing a little bit, but.
Yeah, it's Perrin, got by Van Weingarten, and a really tough finish. Perrin has been on fire tonight. He's got 20 excuse me, as Dallas Center Grimes pulls within 46-45, 4:52 to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, but the degree of difficulty of that shot was tremendous. So
Trey Steinkamp tries to answer with a tough shot of his own in the middle of the lane, not able to do so. So Dallas Center Grimes with the basketball, down by a 1 with 4:36 to go in the fourth quarter. Hudson Heideggerken looking inside for Lorenzen.
Got hit.
And hit by Devin Runner.
Yep.
Just the second foul on Runner. It's been a fairly foul-free game here so far.
Yep.
Dallas Center Grimes has been called for 4 fouls all night. Pella Christian has been whistled for 5.
Yeah, no, there's been good flow to this game. Credit the officials for that. You get some of these games and they get super choppy, and it's hard for guys to get in the rhythm. But you know what they say, then you know they're doing a good job when you don't notice them. And we haven't had crowds up complaining about stuff. So credit to this crew for having a good flow to this game and letting the players play a little bit.
Yeah, Lorenzen misses the second one, so we're tied up 46-46 with 4:26 to go in the fourth quarter. Do have a Pingles Home Store in-store radio update. Norwalk 48, Newton 28 at the end of the third quarter. Ben Van Weingarten to Trey Steinkamp. 3 from the left wing, left it short.
Trey's been just a little short as of late, so.
Now when he maybe took like an extra step out from the line, maybe want to see him just a half step in.
Yeah, I think
that might have
scooting back
helped
a little bit, so.
Yeah. Brody Logan looking into the post for Lorenzen.
Yeah.
And he got hit again by Runner. That's going to be his third. So that's just the 6th foul on the Eagles in the game, but 3 of them are on Runner.
Yeah, so just caught that one a little bit deeper than you would like to see on the post there. It's just tough to do a whole lot with him other than foul him at that point, which is what happened here with Devin. So just something to keep an eye on with 3 fouls. I know we've only got 3:55 left to play, but maybe seeing Garrett again here before this is all said and done.
Yeah, and he missed the second free throw, but Brody Burke went right over the top of Devin Runner to grab the board.
Trey with a little reach there.
Yep, and Steinkamp whistled for the hold. That's the 3rd foul in the quarter on Pella Christian. So they had 4 fouls total coming into the fourth quarter, and they now have 3 in the quarter.
Yeah.
And Joe Steinkamp going to take a Pella Motors timeout with Dallas Center Grimes leading 47-46 with 3:46 to play in the ballgame. In case you missed it, presented by the veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic. The Eagles, they're short-handed. I don't know how much more to add to that. I mean, you look at this matchup, they had to step out and knock down some threes to be able to score tonight with the size of Dallas Center Grimes. They have been able to do that fairly well here in this one. But just looking for some stops to come away with a win, and that's in case you missed it, presented by the veterinarians at Tri-County Veterinary Clinic in Pella.
They're the veterinarians.
But
yeah, again, I mean, I think this is everything you could have asked for if you're the staff at Pella Christian. We talked about it. You know, you come back on the second night of a back-to-back. There's always an emotional high as you get started and the game gets going, and then a lot of times what you see is that kind of wears off, and some of the mental fatigue takes over. And then the physical fatigue takes over, and it just kind of compounds, and you see teams kind of run away with it in the second half. But credit to them. This is a pretty mentally tough group. They'll keep digging and competing and fighting, and I think that's shown here. The fact that it's a 1-point game with under 4 minutes to go. They've played hard, and see what happens here is try to finish it out. So get a low post touch look. Nope. That's where they wanted to go anyways.
Yeah, they were looking for Lorenzen, but Devin Runner did a nice job to move him off the spot. Ball, they're looking for Brody Logan. He's looking to drive on Stoltz, and he lost the ball out of bounds. 11th Dallas Center Grimes turnover. Logan maybe just did a little too much dribbling.
Yeah, but if you're the Eagles, you're giving yourself chances here, right? Got the ball, 3.5, down 1. See if you can capitalize on the turnover and go down and get a stop.
Yeah, it's Devin Runner with it. Trey Steinkamp driving, and Chase Perrin is whistled for the blocking foul, his first foul, and Dallas Center Grimes is second.
Yeah, it's about just a half step slow there for Perrin, but yeah, nice job by Trey putting the pressure on and forcing that baseline drive, pick up the foul.
Yep, so Ben Van Weingarten will set up the action for Pella Christian. Give it to Gilbert Flagel out top. Working on Brody Burke. Flagel got a step, but the shot blocked.
Yeah, nice job by Burke contesting that, using that length.
And Heideggerkin will set up the Dallas Center Grimes offense. Brody Logan into the post for Burke. Burke posting up Flagel, and he goes right at him and lays it in.
Yeah.
And Dallas Center Grimes up 49-46 with 2:45 to go in the game. Ben Van Weingarten to Devin Runner.
Nobody on the backside. They missed it.
Yeah, Griffin Stoltz to Trey Steinkamp.
Yep.
Lob over the top is just
Just
too
a little
far
bit.
from Flagel. 10th Eagles turnover.
Yeah, it looked like they had that same look on the other side and just missed it and came around and still had the same look. Trey just a little long on the pass there. So now, kind of urgent situation here. As you would say, a 3-point game. Really got to dig in here and get a stop.
Yeah, ball goes to Lorenzen on the right elbow. He's going to post up on Runner. Runner doing a great job, but it's not going to matter as Lorenzen able to power it up and in.
Yeah, he did do a nice job just walling up and forced him to hit a tough shot, and he was able to keep his footwork together and do just that.
Yeah, Flagel and Steinkamp. And Steinkamp goes to the basket.
Should be a goaltend
Yeah, the
call.
Eagles won a goaltend as shot was there.
Ooh. That should have been a goaltend call.
Yeah, they're not going to give it to him,
They
but
are not.
Steinkamp does get the whistle. As Heideggerkin pushed him. First on Heideggerkin, third on the Mustang squad.
50-50 call.
He will make the first one. So he pulls Pella Christian back within 4. That second one goes off back iron, and Flagel on the board is fouled.
Yeah, nice job by Gill getting the offensive rebound. So now again, Pella Christian's opportunity to get some second chance points here. See if they can capitalize on this.
Yeah,
4 team fouls now, 2 for Dallas Center Grimes. So every foul is going to be free throws the rest of the way.
Yeah, that also went on Heideggerkin, his second. Flagel, tough fadeaway shot off
Devin
the rim.
Got
Yeah,
undercut.
Devin got high load. There, it hits the floor. Foul went on 12. Brody Logan, his first and the 5th. So Runner going to go shoot free throws. How about this in a Pingles Home Store Instant Radio update? Pella boys basketball at Indianola 21-10 at the end of the first quarter. Indianola has closed the gap to 44-41 going into the 4th.
And again, another competitive game.
Yeah, Runner cannot buy the first free throw.
That was halfway in and just popped out. So see if he can capitalize on the second one here.
Yeah, I don't know if you could get one a little bit
Further down and still have it come out. Huh?
Yeah. That time he just decided to leave the rim out of the affair altogether.
So
Hit it.
back to a 3-point possession, 3-point game here. So again, stop is critical.
Yeah, 51-48, a minute 40 to go. Eagles fans trying to will their team to a stop.
Going back to the low post. Burke's
Yeah.
been solid all night.
Burke up and under. And Burke is able to lay it in over the top of Flagel. And Steinkamp looking to push for the Eagles here a little bit with time running low. Stoltz. Cross court to Van Weingarten. Devin Runner going to try the 3 from the left wing. Devin Runner knocking down the biggest shot of the night. Puts Pella Christian back within 2, 53-51, a minute 14 to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and the best thing about that, Devin didn't hesitate. Once he caught it, it was right in rhythm. Got a nice pass right in the shooting pocket and went right up with it. So good to see. Just get a little rest here, catch your breath. You need to stop coming out of the timeout and then go down and give yourself a chance.
Absolutely. Once again, that's another Randall Roofing. Race through a moment of the game when the moment arises and it's time for a new roof. Think Randall Roofing. Quick look at our Marion County Bank radio scoreboard. Boys basketball, what we've got so far, Knoxville leads Cardinal 47-7 or 47-11 at halftime. Norwalk leading Newton 48-28 at the end of the 3rd quarter. Pella over Indianola 44-41 at the end of the 3rd. Our score, Dallas Center Grimes 53, Pella Christian 51. A minute 14 to go in the fourth. That is the Marion County Bank radio scoreboard.
So big possession here both ways. If you're Dallas Center Grimes, you can stretch it to a 2-score game. If you're Pella Christian, you can get a stop, go down and tie or take the lead with the basket.
Yeah, Eagles fans starting to make their way to their feet here. Minute 03. Logan to Heideggerkin.
Double down.
Able to get it into Lorenzen. Now Heideggerkin kicks it over. Brody Burke left alone on the three-point line. Heideggerkin
gonna penetrate
on the screen and roll. Kicks. Brody Burke looking to drive on Flagel. Tough shot, no good. But it went right to Lorenzen, who lost the basketball. Eagles get the ball.
Saying it just kind of released up out of his hands, out of bounds. So
they're going to ask the Eagles bench to sit back down after the turnover by Dallas Center Grimes. Burke and Lorenzen's shots no good. Pella Christian, 6 seconds separate the shot in the game clock. Flagel for three! Gilbert Flagel
takes the lead.
Pella Christian back on top, 54 to 53.
Wow.
Timeout.
Wow.
Dallas Center Grimes.
Gilbert.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
No fear. I was just about to say, you don't want to get too picky. If you get a good look, you want to take it. A 7-second differential on the shot clock there, and Gilbert didn't even give me the chance to say that because he said, I'm just taking this one.
Well, I mean, how many times can he come through for you down the stretch of a ball game? I think back to Grandview Christian, you're about to throw that game away. Ball gets thrown in the corner, three-point look for the win. Who's there? Gilbert to swat that shot away.
Yeah.
Last night, who's the guy they're going to in the fourth quarter to put things away? Now, granted, there were some other guys who stepped up in that run, but Gilbert's the closer there. And I think we got the new nickname for Gil.
Yeah, and we'll see how this plays out. I mean, we know that, and other teams know that. But, again, that's that ability when you've got a taller defender on him like Lorenzen. You have to respect that. I mean, and when you don't, he's able to hit that. And when you do, he's able to put it on the floor and get by you. So see what the Eagles draw up here defensively to get a stop. You've got to limit them to one shot no matter what with 24.9 left. You can't give them an opportunity at a second chance basket. And I've got to imagine DCG's either going to try to get something from Parent or they're going to try to get something inside with Burke or Lorenzen.
I would imagine they are. It's Logan.
Comes the low post right
looking
there.
For Burke. It's Lorenzen.
High-low.
Dumping it down for Burke, and he's up and over the top of Flagel. He gets it to go. In transition, Trey Steinkamp. He's going to give it to Flagel. Flagel, pump fake, shot off the mark. And Dallas Center Grimes survives.
Oh, what a game. What a game. Both teams, what a game.
Yeah, a hard-fought game there for Pella Christian. But unfortunately, the size of Dallas Center Grimes down the stretch, just a little too much.
Yeah, Burke was tough inside, and if you're Pella Christian, I don't have any issues playing that one out. You got the ball in the hands of Gilbert, and that's who you want taking that shot there. So it looked good from here. We didn't have the straight-on angle with it, but I think you're going to live with that shot considering the night he's had as well. So, but just credit to both teams. A hard-fought game. Really, literally could have gone either way up until the last 10 seconds there. So Mustangs come away with a win, but the Eagles aren't big on moral victories. I can assure you of that. But one of the questions was how are we going to respond tonight, coming off an emotional game last night, and I think we got our answer. And again, continuing to learn a little bit more about just the mental toughness and grit that this team has. Not a lot of guys playing, but they're feisty.
Absolutely, they are. They continue to prove why they're a team that you can't count out at any moment.
Yeah.
Even when the cards seem down, it feels like. I mean, really, there's only been one. The only two games where it felt like they just really didn't have an answer with the two games where they weren't really in. I mean, Pella and Norwalk. Yeah. I mean, like every game they've won this season, it's either They race out to a big lead. I guess I take that back. I mean, the only loss that they had this season where, they just didn't play well is Oskaloosa. It's like you just can't keep this team down, right? I mean, that one, tough night over in Oski, but they're just a team that, they are scrappy as all get out.
Yeah, and even the Oski game, I mean, you had a 7-point lead with 2 minutes left. I think that one was more inexperienced rearing its head in the early season. You've had a lot of new varsity faces there. Norwalk put it to us pretty good, and I think really took us out of anything that night. And Pella did the first half as well last week, but you just look at the bounce back even the second half of that game last week, and to hold an explosive offensive team like Pella to 15 points in the second half. I mean, that says something about who you are defensively, and it's just I don't know. I like this team. They're
100%.
They're a tough out. They're not gonna back down from anybody, and how it kind of plays out sometimes is as we get closer and closer to that postseason, and you're going in with maybe not the best record, but I can assure you there's a lot of 2A teams out there that would like to avoid 500 Pella team if something like that, if you got to that point. Just
I can tell you, there's not many teams that want to see us.
It's a little deceptive there. So this group's different than some of the previous ones. Some of the previous ones have had a little more offensive firepower than what this particular group does. But Coach Steinkamp's got them, and staff has this group defending at a very high level.
Yeah, and they can play some offense too. I mean, 54 points tonight right now. I mean, you're looking at it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to say that like this is the greatest offensive performance you've ever seen, but 54 points a night after you play an electric, high energy game that you pull out late against Knoxville last night. You come back 24 hours later, you have a definite size mismatch. You haven't shot the ball well from three so far this season. You come out here and you put up 54 points, and I would say that most of your damage comes behind the three-point line. I'd say you did fine.
Yeah, they did. And that there's a lot of encouragement. I mean, you're frustrated with the loss because you were there. You had the chance, right?
Yep.
If you could get one stop for a team that hangs their hat on defense, and you weren't able to do that, so that's going to eat at these guys a little bit. But as you continue to grow throughout this last handful of weeks of the season, hard to believe we're talking about that already, but another month or so, just making some shots, the confidence is going to do nothing but continue to grow for these guys. And when you have an elite scorer like Gilbert, just because of his length, his ability to put the ball on the floor, his footwork, his craftiness around the rim, and now we see, okay, he's going to be a decent outside shooter too. Like, that's a tough matchup. And so for these other guys to be hitting some shots, like I said, the confidence does nothing but grow. When you can compete with these 4A schools like this, on any given night, you've got to like your chances moving forward. Depending on, regardless of who you're playing.
Exactly right. And again, we're here in the Scooters Coffee Radio post-game show on 92.1 KRLS. Scooters Coffee and Pella. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Let's jump into our McKay Group Radio key play and player of the game. I mean, the key play, I think, obviously stands out. Obviously, tonight comes down to the last bucket of the game. I mean, there's multiple plays you could probably pick from, but obviously the one that changes the game is, Brody Burke making the layup there over the top of Flagel, who played really strong defense. Just fortunately, Burke got the better of him on that play, and he scores the bucket and gives Dallas Center Grimes the win. But the key player, I don't know if we have to debate this one too much. I think Gil gets the nod on that one tonight.
gonna be hard for me to talk you out of that one. So, like I said, just for as solid as he was offensively tonight, you talk to Gil at practice and you see like he's the type player. He's still frustrated that they lost, and he's more frustrated that he's more frustrated that they lost than the fact that he had a good night offensively, because he's about the team. All of these guys are about the team. The chemistry is great. They root for each other to be successful. So, most tonight. Again, it was Gil's night for the player of the game, and you know, his teammates would be happy for him. But I can assure you that all of them involved were disappointed in the outcome of the game, because it was there. You know, and like I said, that's what hurts so much is you had the ability and. Yeah, you had the chance.
Yeah, I mean, you're right there. Right there, not much more.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, just one stop down the stretch is the whole difference is like not a whole lot more you could ask.
Yeah, and credit to Burke, man. He was a handful down the low block there, and did some damage in the second half, and wisely they kept going back to him in the low post there, and he was able to capitalize for him. And you know, I'm sure if you're the coaches, you think through, okay, what do you do differently on that last possession? Do you double down and swipe when he gets it? Do you know, if you had it to do again, would you play it straight up? And it's not like you had a mismatch. You had size on size down there. And like I said, sometimes you just, like I said, you know, the other team has competitors too, and sometimes that works in your favor. That you come out on the top end, and sometimes you just have to tip your cap and. Appreciate what the other team was able to do too. So you can be frustrated and encouraged at the same time. I think if you're Pella Christian, definitely a winnable game. But the reality is in this conference, there's no time to feel sorry for yourself because you're going to get a couple days of practice and get some rest for some of these guys that have been playing heavy minutes the last few nights, and then. Oh, look, Indianola's coming to town on Friday. So
that's what you in the locker room. You're just like, oh, goody.
Yeah, there's no, and we've talked about. There's just no nights off in this conference. So you just gotta regroup, build from it. I know these coaches will do a nice job of building these guys up and continuing to lead them. And like I said, their attitudes are great. They work hard and they want to compete and be successful. So. I've got no doubts they'll bounce back with another good showing Friday night. Should have a decent crowd Friday night home game in January. Those tend to be pretty well supported by the PC faithful. Again, it'll be a different challenge come Friday night. Just a little different personnel that Indianola is going to bring to the table. For as far as this one went tonight, like I said, it's. Lots of good things, but man, just I think a sense of frustration and just not being able to close it out. And we talked about that. Just a team that prides itself on defense, and just weren't able to dig in and get one stop. But that's the way it goes sometimes. So sun's going to come up in the morning. These guys are going to come back, go to work tomorrow, and have 2 good days of practice. And I know they'll be ready to compete again come Friday night.
We absolutely do. That's our McKay Group Radio Key Play and Player of the Game. Auto, home, business, commercial, life, and health insurance covering you in Knoxville and Oskaloosa. Before we're going to switch out to Coach Stoltz here for Coach Steinkamp. And while we do that, let's look at tonight's final stats presented by the Verduft Agency in Pella here. So for Dallas Center Grimes, Chase Perrin with 18 points. Luke Lorenzen finishes with 16. Brody Burke with 10. Hudson Heideggerken with 2. Brody Logan with 5. Cooper Houston with 2. For Pella Christian, Gilbert Flagel 23. Devin Runner with 10. Garrett Wheeler with 8. Ben Van Weingarten with 7. Trey Steinkamp with 5. Griffin Stoltz with 3. And those are your final stats presented by the Verduft Agency. And let Chad Lancer and Larry examine your stats, customize an insurance plan for you. The Verduft Agency, providing complete courteous service to the Pella area for nearly 100 years. So we are getting things wrapped up here on the Scooters Coffee Radio postgame show. And with our continuing coverage of Iowa high school athletics, we're joined now by a head coach of the Pella Christian boys basketball team, Joe Steinkamp, following a 55-54 heartbreaker here against Dallas Center Grimes. And Coach, I just got to point out before we talk about any of the plays or anything that happened, I mean, your guys 24 hours ago played a really high-intensity game here, and you got a little bit shorthanded there. And talked about that with Griffin Stoltz yesterday, where Garrett Wheeler went down a little hobbled, and tonight another high-energy game. And guys showed no signs of fatigue. I'm sure as a coach that's a really encouraging sign there that back-to-back nights are playing in that kind of atmosphere and, able to rise to the occasion for most of the night.
Yeah, we did. Played almost well enough to win. Ultimately, we pride ourselves on it being a defensive team, and we got that last possession, get a stop to win, and we weren't quite good enough. So thought Burke did a great job late in that game, making some plays. The plan was to double team him, and then he kind of got a seal before we could get there. So great play by him. Proud of our guys with their effort, bouncing back on a back-to-back, but still we're not satisfied. We're not happy how this game went. Too many little things that we didn't clean up that could have resulted in more stops and more rebounds, and you can't do that against great teams. And we want to be a championship level team, and if we're going to be a championship level team, we got to be better throughout the whole 32 minutes.
And just kind of looking at this matchup too, I mean, you talk about it not necessarily walking away thrilled, and I know that one area of the game that it's always just going to be tough when teams have the amount of size that Dallas Center Grimes is, and it's not very often that you're playing as probably the smaller team on the court. I mean, it might be the first time all season, might be the only time all season, and you get into a matchup like that. I mean, how do you go about trying to combat that, and especially late in the game there where they're just going to it and you don't necessarily have the size? How do you go about trying to stop that, and when they can just go over the top?
Yeah, I think our bigs are pretty good too, and what we tried to do is get their big guys out of the paint by getting our big guys on the perimeter, and that was pretty effective for parts of the game. I thought Devin and Gilbert really battled those guys really well. Maybe a little bit of fatigue set in late, and Burke was able to get to the hoop. We were able to effectively double team the time before, so maybe we need to mix that in there a little bit more throughout the game. But really, we want to pride ourselves being on a good one-on-one team, and I think the biggest thing is just trying to keep those guys out of the paint. I thought our guys did a great job defensively when they did get them out of the paint, but when you're 6'8" and 6'10" and you catch it in the paint, it's pretty hard to stop them from there. So those are two terrific bigs. We think we're going to be better because we were able to see that kind of size in the regular season.
Well, and the nice thing too is you get another shot on them, right? I mean, obviously it stings to see how things finished out here tonight, but knowing you get that chance at their place as well, how does that kind of affect the mindset and how this one ends? For how you go into that next one, kind of mentally prepared for another showdown with them, having, that loss that happened here early in the season.
Yeah, we're not really thinking ahead. Honestly, we're just kind of thinking one day at a time, and our focus now will be on Indianola. And they possess different strengths, and another physical team, maybe not as big at the 4 and the 5, but bigger across the board. So that's the beauty of our conference, that just so many unique styles, both from personnel and from coaching. And, I think that's going to ultimately make us better. I think it already has. We've had to do some great preparation, playing all these teams. And, that's the one area that, not the one area, but an area that I'm just really proud of our team. Our guys are really tough, and they're really smart, and they're really focused. So we can, the last, we didn't practice on Sunday. We don't practice on Sunday. And so we come to shoot around on Monday and put it in our game plan for Knoxville. And then we come to shoot around today and put it in our game plan for DCG, and our guys can execute on the fly, and we can tweak our system a little bit to make it happen. And they're just so tough and so resilient. So I think when you have a team like that, good things can happen to you. And so yeah, it's really fun to play in this atmosphere against these type of teams. We just hope we're on the other side of it down the stretch here.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we're talking to Joe Steinkamp following a 55-54 loss for the Pella Christian boys basketball team, Dallas Center Grimes. Before we move on 100% to Indianola, I know you mentioned that's kind of the focus, but I think the bigger focus point is you get 2 days off, which I think will be huge for this team when you look at the fact that, you're running 6 guys kind of as the rotation on the floor, 2 nights in a row, high energy games, chance to kind of get back, tweak some things. whether good or bad from these two matchups, but also just a chance to maybe kind of rest up after two kind of physical battles that came down to the wire and were high emotion.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely have to go light tomorrow. Guys really extended the minutes the last couple nights. Start to watch a little film on Indianola and get ourselves ready to play, and then we'll get after it on Thursday and get after it on Friday. So we have a really good setup this week. We were excited for this three home week, and it'll be great to get back to practice, like you said.
And we both get to see the benefit of it now, right? I know the guys probably are still either looking for it or starting to find that score from Indianola, but you're going to host an Indian squad that's going to come in hungry, just like yourself, following on the road here. They already made the road trip to Pella once this week and took the loss to Pella here on Tuesday night. They're not going to want to make another road trip to Pella just to lose on Friday. What do you guys need to do to be able to ensure that they're going back to Indianola with 2 losses on the week in their drives to the Tulip City?
Yeah, I think we'll start with 2 really good days of preparation. Just stack good practices together. Have a locked in game plan, and hopefully we have another rocking crowd here on Friday night that can help motivate our guys to playing well. We really like how we're playing right now on both ends of the court. We're finding different ways to score, and we really want to pride ourselves on being one of the best defensive teams in 2A, and I think we're trending in that direction. So we'll start tomorrow at practice, and just a couple days here to get us ready. But these guys are competitive and they're tough, and I know they will be ready.
Coach, appreciate the time as always. We wish you the best of luck in getting prepared for that Indianola game, and looking forward to seeing how things turn out on Friday night.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. That's Joe Steinkamp, head coach of the Pella Christian Boys basketball team. We will take a quick timeout here on 92.1 KRLS and on the Pella Christian YouTube channel before we wrap up the Scooters Coffee Radio post-game show after this.
CPAs are known for doing things by the numbers, but the accountants at Van Manen, Seastra, Meyer, and Nickel go beyond the numbers. They are committed to their clients to bring the best advice at competitive prices to ensure that you get the best service to meet your needs. They'll stand behind you in case you would ever need help, unlike most of the do-it-yourself tax services, with year-round advice for any life changes that may happen. And if you're unhappy with your current service, they are accepting new clients with a smooth and seamless transition.
Save time and gain peace of mind with Van Manen, Seastra, Meyer, and Nickel.
If it's time to refresh your home, there's no need to travel out of town. We have a 25,000 square foot showroom at Bruxford's Home Center with everything you need. We have furniture for every room in your home, flooring in every texture, color, and style imaginable, kitchen appliances and laundry sets, bedding, window treatments, and home decor. And it's all backed by our legendary customer service. Let us help you refresh your home at Bruxford's Home Center, 405 Truman Road in Pella.
If you're hardworking, dependable, and have construction or electrical experience, DeYoung Door Service in Pella is looking for you. But they know that you're hard to find, and your skills are desirable and valuable. That's why for the right person with the right skills, they'll start you off at $25 an hour, plus a weekly stipend for health insurance. If we're talking to you, and you'd like to be trained by the best to become one of the gurus, call DeYoung Door Service at 628-8736.
Hi, this is Kurt DeYoung. We're the gurus of garage doors, DeYoung Door Service in Pella.
Wrapping up here in closing, presented by Light and State Bank. Grow strong with us as you're listening to Pella Christian Basketball, powered by Bank Iowa on 92.1 FM KRLS Knoxville, Pella Newton, and KRLS HD1 Knoxville, Pella Newton. Eagles hang tough as we go in closing, presented by Light and State Bank. Grow strong with us. In the boys contest, it was a really strong game for Pella Christian, 55-54. But Dallas Center Grimes able to get the bucket with just about 10 seconds to play to secure the win. Pella Christian girls struggled down the stretch after a strong first quarter against DCG, but overall a good night as we go in closing, presented by Light and State Bank. Grow strong with us. You've been listening to the Scooters Coffee Radio post-game show. Scooters Coffee and Pella, amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. And we're going to send it back to the studio. Thanks for tuning in to Pella Christian High School Basketball here on 92.1 KRLS. Again, Pella Christian boys fall 55-54. Pella Christian girls fall 88-41 to Dallas Center Grimes.